I really, all I can tell this to you and to the fans is that I decided to put the work in a lot of different fields, and I'm seeing results. And I mean, I'm telling you, it feels good. It's a little nerve-wracking because I feel like, you know how people say like, uh, as fast as you go up, you can fall just as quick.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And but that, you know, that could apply to anything, not just the podcast, but this could apply to like the career, the job, like anything that I'm up here, and like if I mess up, I can, you know,
Quickly fall
yeah, I can
back.
quickly fall. And I think you gotta like humble yourself a lot of times. You gotta make sure like recognize who you are. Look in the mirror. And I tell this to people all the time. You look in the mirror and it's like, we in this bitch together, man. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, you just have to have these realization moments, man. Like, you have
Yeah.
to, and I've had them for years, right? I think what it is that I let my mind take control of me sometimes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think that mental health is very important, but I feel like a lot of times I've slipped up. A lot of times, you know, and I'll admit it. I've slipped up. I've fucked up. I've done my failures, man, and but it has made me a better person, I feel like. Or at least I try to be, right? Cuz
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to it's gonna happen, you know? It's natural, and I do agree. Like, I was trying to find a post. I had seen something where it was like, be confident but not arrogant and all these other things, but I don't have it. I
Mhm.
didn't have it saved. So if I find it, I'll share it. But
Okay.
yeah, you have to be like you said, like confident but not arrogant, and then you have to have a certain mentality to get up there, but also like you said, be humble and humble yourself, and like, you know, reroute yourself and put your feet on the ground. And then it can happen, even if within the most successful people that are also still like so humble and so rooted and grounded, you know, it happens to everybody. But I think that as long as we keep at it and we keep practicing it, and the more, and like sometimes I think, damn, like at least for me, sometimes I'm like, I want to be at this point already. And then I think about it, I'm still young. And the fact that I have all these mentality, all these thoughts, all these positive reinforcements, all these positive like goals, I feel like that's a huge head start. Like our family had a whole different like perspective in life. They didn't even have to go through any of these things. So for us that we're like first generation, we got to give ourselves some props because nobody is teaching us this. Nobody, like just today, I had my coworker say something about like, I didn't even know mental health, like, yeah, a mental health day existed. She's, of course, an older, like colleague. And I was like, yeah, like nowadays that's a thing. Like nowadays you can be like, I'm calling in for a mental health day. And that's still the same thing as a personal day or a vacation day, except you're claiming it because of your mental health. Um, but I think this is more like known now that mental
Mhm.
health has showcased more awareness and whatnot. And it's so hard because before it wasn't a thing. Like it was just like, oh, you're overwhelmed or you're exaggerating or you're dramatic or you can't handle it. But it's a real thing. And I
Mhm.
think it's also because of all the distractions and all the influences and just everything that we have going on in the world at this time. When I was listening to your grandparents talk, like when they were starting off saying like what they worked in at 8 years old, I was like, holy shit, like at 8, like
Oh
that's
yeah.
Anna. That is Anna. Like
Mhm.
maybe Ivan, I don't know how old he is.
He's
Is
8.
he 10? He's 8. Yeah,
He's 8.
like can you imagine him working and doing
He
what
needs
are
to. He needs to. You know what I mean? He needs to start paying rent. No, I'm just kidding.
but just like, and it was just crazy like listening to them And I had just like a weird, like a wild thought. Like I was like, no wonder people in that generation got married at 16, 17, because at that point you've been working for 18 years, 15 years. Like
Hmm.
us, we're starting to work at, I don't know, 16. So if you had 16 years, if you had 15 years to 16, we're like 30s. So that's why we're getting, our life established at 30. So it's a whole different generation. We just got to adjust and also give ourselves some credit and like some
Yeah.
love, because we're really doing the best we can with what we know.
That's another thing too. When you said that we need some love, I think a lot of times, and I've seen it a lot in a lot of people, maybe younger people, I would say, people our age and younger, I would say, that a lot of them are scared to love,
Mhm.
probably because of heartbreaks, of anything that negatively impacted that, right? Their view
Mhm.
on it. And I feel like we need to understand how this works because if we're negatively impacted by it, the first thing you're going to do is like put your wall up, um, what is it? Like keep your
Oh,
feelings closed, your
yeah. Like
emotions,
not open
everything,
up.
not open up, nothing like that. But that doesn't help. That doesn't help you. What does help you, I would say, is I guess I mean it's tough to say because a lot of people say, well, if you don't open up, you can't get hurt. True, but if you don't open up, you'll never feel love. You'll never feel like those emotions.
Exactly.
It's a weird
You have you have to be vulnerable in order to get connected with somebody like deeper.
yeah.
So literally what the word says, it, vulnerability. Like at that moment, at not necessarily your weakest, but a vulnerable moment, that's when you connect with people the most.
Hmm.
It's like a, I don't know, like a sweet and sour love and hate,
Something.
passive aggressive combo, like all of
It's
those, like,
it's tough, right? Uh,
hmm
I don't know how to like handle all that, right? I
hmm
just know that you have to be some type of vulnerable to actually feel things because we won't get nowhere. Like you know how they say like you can only understand somebody as deep as you went through yourself. Like so, if you're like super like your wall's super high up and everything, you're not gonna like understand the other person because you're
right.
not trying to get deep with yourself. It's got to be mutual, right?
hmm
So, but it is tough. It's tough because there's a lot of people here with bad intentions. There's people here that are not good for you. They're not good. They're not good for you.
hmm
But it's hard, and I think that's the struggle that we go through. Is like you don't know people's true intentions a lot of the times,
Right.
or maybe I don't know. At least I don't think you can. I don't think you can see somebody's true intentions.
hmm
So like it's hard. It's hard to pick and choose your things. But I think your gut knows. Somebody said it. I think this is on TikTok that, uh, and it was kind of dumb, right? But it kind of makes sense in a way. He was like, "What if your gut is like it's like your future self telling you uh, not to do this or to do this? Like it's telling you something."
hmm
And like when you get deja vu, is that like I don't know how he said it, but he said something about like what if like your future self was like trying to talk to your past self through your gut? And like
That's,
it's kind of funny, but like it kind of
yeah.
make I guess whatever the case is like I think a lot of times the gut doesn't lie, maybe.
Yeah, there is this one person that like I have on Instagram, and I'm not sure what her like full title is, but she's like a coach and like spiritual something. But anyways, she once said like you have to learn how to listen and like understand your instincts. Like
Hmm.
um you got to explore that, like you got to connect with it, because sometimes you don't trust it, and so learning to trust, and you have to practice it, of course. It's not just something that's going to happen overnight, which is interesting, and it caught me like off guard and also caught my attention because that's something that I've been trying to do as well. And so to hear her actually like vocalize that and express that. And I was like, oh, I thought I was just kind of a weird
Mm-hmm.
girl for trying to do that. But that makes sense.
I
I
think
have a
so.
weird, I have like a weird gut feeling. Like my gut feeling is not a gut feeling. My gut feeling is more like an actual intuition, not intuition, like a thought. I don't, it's
Mm-hmm.
complicated. Like in my head, I know, let's say I want to go get coffee or something. And instead of having a gut feeling where it's like, oh, that's a bad idea, like my head, like I actually have a thought that it's like, you're not gonna drink it, or let's say I'm craving it and I'm like, no, like it's just not a good idea. Like in my head, I just know it's not a good idea. And I'm like,
It's
I want coffee. What the hell?
life or death, Kenya.
And so like for me, I've been trying to learn how to listen to my gut feeling. Like when, and sometimes I don't know if it's like, is it telling me to go for it or is it telling me not to go for it? And I'm like, what are you telling me? Like, be more
Yeah,
clear here.
that's actually
So,
that's tough.
mhm.
How do you? I don't know, because we've all probably been there. Like, what do you do? Like,
It's like I'm trying to teach myself how to listen to it, and then also where what it's telling me. Like the other day, I was like, okay, I want to go get McDonald's, and so I went, and I don't know why I always order like either a McChicken or a cheeseburger or something. Like I never
the J
normally.
Balvin meal.
Yes, yes. No, I actually haven't ordered it, but
I think it's gone.
it's gone. Then that didn't last long.
No, and also the spicy chicken nuggets are gone too. Like, that's some bullshit.
Damn, they that
Yes,
was just like
dude,
three
that lasted
seconds.
like three. That lasted like 3 minutes, bro. Literally,
Damn.
honestly, if they would have kept the spicy chicken nuggets, I would be going there so much more. Like, I don't ever, I hardly ever go to McDonald's. Like, I just get their
Hmm.
coffee. That's it. Um, but their nuggets were on point, man.
Yeah, I
Damn,
didn't get to
that's
try
tough.
them.
Hmm.
But see, so this day I was like, okay, whatever. I want chicken, so let me just get some chicken nuggets. But deep
Hmm.
down, I was like, you always get a cheeseburger. You always like do this. Why are you going to get chicken nuggets? And I was like, because I want chicken. I want more chicken today. And I went through the order. I was about to pay, and I was like, "Listen to your gut." Like I already like fucked up my order, and I was like, "Whatever, I'm sticking with it." And then I'm like, "Why didn't you listen to your gut?" So then at the door, at the window, right before paying, I was like, "Can I still change my order?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so I was like, "Okay, perfect." So I changed my order. Point of that lesson was listen to your gut. Like I wanted chicken nuggets for some reason,
Hmm.
but I knew that I always get this and that I enjoy this. So I was like, just get what you enjoy.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's like a miscellaneous situation, but it was a good it was a good opportunity for me to be like, listen to your gut. And I was lucky. I mean, it was whatever. It was food. I was still gonna eat it, but it was lucky that I was able to like retract and follow my gut. Because there's situations where in life you can't like you fucked up and you fucked up. You know?
Yeah, I think a lot of times when that happens, you just gotta keep moving. And I try not to like spend too much time on it because it makes me like overthink it, and I'm just like I
Mm-hmm.
go off into this like rabbit hole type of deal, and like in this case, black hole. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be there. It's tough,
Right.
man. It's tough.
It is hard.
Life, adulting is tough. I hope I can listen to myself in like 15, 20 years and just look back and be like, man, you had it easy, Like,
That's what I think. Like I was like, damn, I had it easy back in the day. What was I thinking?
future me is gonna be like, man, why are you tripping?
I
Hopefully.
actually I actually have like those thoughts and similar conversations to with myself like um just like something stupid. I don't know if it's a girl thing or whatnot, but like I'm like, damn, I need to work out. I need to get fit. And just this year I've been more like, okay, like you're
How's that a
actually
girl thing? Like,
well like
because I'm
okay,
thinking the
okay.
same thing. I'm like, I need to work out. I need to get fit. I need to
Well,
eat, be healthy.
maybe it's like it's a like certain perspective. But like
You wanna look good. So like, uh, for what?
yeah,
Like,
for
for your
for,
man.
for me and for my man and for just to show off and be like, look,
Yeah,
we're looking
yeah.
good out here. But in my head, like all my life, I've been like, oh, you're not fit. You're not fit. And I've always thought that I'm not like skinny, which is weird because everybody's like, you're skinny and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but
Bro,
no,
you've
I'm
always
not.
been skinny.
See what I'm saying? Like, but that is not something that I see. Like, I see myself being petite and small, but not skinny. Because in my head, I feel like I still have like belly fat, even though people don't see that. People
Mm,
see other. And
mm-hmm.
so this year I was like, okay, like I'm gonna, learn. I've made some improvement and I don't see myself as like, I guess I'm not too hard on myself as I was before. I'm like, okay, like you're petite, you're looking good. I'm working out. Not that I don't necessarily think that working out has toned me or anything like that, but of course it's probably helped somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
But um in my head there's been times where I'm like, I think I'm not looking good right now, and just watch me in 5 years
So
or
you're
when
looking
I
at the
have
mirror, it's like
kids.
I'm looking kind
I'm
of rough. Cuz.
yes, I'm like, damn, if I think I'm not looking good, just wait until like I'm 5 years in or with kids. I'm gonna be looking at this body and I'm gonna be like, I was dumb. Like I
Mm.
was straight dumb for thinking I wasn't fit. And so I
I
don't know
think every I
if
think
that's
everybody
like
goes through that.
mhm.
I think since you're a girl though, you think more of looks. You think more of that kind of thing. But I think everybody kind of goes through something like that.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, we just really have to live our lives as best as we can because who knows what's gonna happen? We might not be here in a couple years, or who knows? You never know. You know,
That's true.
we got a new president. I mean, World War III might break out, man. You know what I mean?
All of a sudden we got a vaccine for COVID. Wow.
That's true. I'm not. I'm not. Have you seen anybody that got uh sick? No.
No, not anybody directly
Yeah, I
or
don't.
close to me.
I have had some people that told me that they got sick,
Mm-hmm.
um, but they didn't really feel anything. But none of our family, my family, Bill Line, I don't think they've gotten sick. I don't know why that is.
I had a friend that his grandmother passed away, and I had another friend that her mother passed away because of complications. So I guess I've had people that I know of, but not necessarily that I'm, my
But
friend, yeah, like I'm close. I was close with him, but it wasn't, like it wasn't my grandmother or like relative
mm,
to me. But,
do you do you think that do you think that they died because of something else though? Because I feel like a lot of times they're kind of like they're probably like super. Their lungs are already really bad,
mhm.
and then they kind of just pass it as a COVID death
I
versus like they're gonna kick the bucket regardless.
Right. I feel like for my friend, she said it was just complications, like that's what she like published or whatnot. So for that, of course, sounds like it was, I feel like because you know how COVID was like, or how people said that COVID it potentially causes other things. So
Hmm.
I feel like it could have caused something. Um, there was also somebody on social media that posted that her grandmother passed away and that had no underlying conditions or anything. So and they weren't that old, I think like 50 or 60. um
Hmm.
I feel like I feel like there's just been a wide like variety of everything, like people with underlying diseases, people with like age, people that were
Oh
super young,
yeah,
good.
I saw a kid like supposedly died because
Hmm.
he went to school or something. But I don't know. I guess this kind of brings back like COVID is very real. Like I do believe it's here. I don't think it's fake. A lot of people are saying it's fake. In the U.S., it's fake. Um, and I see people complaining about the mask still
Hmm.
in the U.S. and in North Carolina, and that's where I live. So definitely here. I just I get it, right? Nobody likes wearing a mask for a certain period of time. Especially with glasses, it fogs up. I mean, it's
Hmm.
straight booty, man. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know, like, just to go out of your way to not like to make a big deal out of it of not wearing one, it's kind of like it's kind of outrageous for me. You know,
Yeah.
I think just wear the mask. Like personally, I like wearing the mask. I like it makes me feel like a ninja. But also, it just like it makes me like when I wear the mask, I feel like I don't have to talk to nobody. And
I actually love wearing the mask because if I yawn, you can't see.
okay,
Okay,
what's
like, well, okay, I guess I'm thinking about like work or like if you're at an event and you don't want to be
oh
there, you
oh
can't
okay.
see.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you can like, it's cool. It's like another accessory. Like you can customize your mask and make it look all nice and cool. I mean, mine's like just straight black, but whatever. Um, but still, but we still have people right now complaining about wearing the mask. It's crazy to me, man. Like, what were you saying?
I was saying, I'm not a huge fan. Like at this point, I don't care. I have to wear it every single day to work. So going in, I have to wear it. If I go to the bathroom, have to wear it. Leaving the office, have to wear it. Even if I'm the last person or the only person in the building, I have to wear it.
Hmm.
So it's whatever. It's still annoying sometimes, um, but I'm not complaining and I'm just gonna wear it and I go about my business.
I
I
think a
do
lot.
think. Oh, go
Mhm.
ahead.
Well, I was gonna say a lot of people, reasonable people, would be okay with it,
Hmm.
but because I'm just talking about like a certain type of people that don't want to wear it, like
Yeah.
are literally making Facebook posts about it.
See, that's too much energy.
It's too
I
much
don't got time
energy.
for
All the
that.
energy you could have put the mask on and took it off.
And gone done your errands and came back.
They're hating
Yeah.
on my boy Roy Cooper, man. He's a governor here in North Carolina.
Mm,
Maybe because he's a Democrat. That might be why. And
maybe.
I think people are just hating on him because of that. Because I personally think that he's trying to help, but maybe not like
No,
all the way. I don't know.
I feel like everybody is hating on their governor right now. Like Illinois hates
Yeah.
their governor too.
I think you just can't be happy with him. I don't even know if he was trying to keep schools open. I think he was. Maybe he was trying to close them. I'm not sure. That's a
Hmm.
whole nother thing too, man. Like I don't know. I feel like they're just kind of hating on him. I feel like he has been doing good, but there's gonna be people that gonna say otherwise.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know, man. That cabron over here, man. People really don't like the guy. I don't really know everything that he's doing, so
Hmm.
I actually can't say he's doing like the best for the state. But
Right.
he won again here, which is surprising.
You
So
guys, I saw that you guys, when the election happened, not that we don't need to talk about this, but we can,
mhm.
now that we're on this topic. Um, I didn't keep up with the election, so I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
didn't keep up with it. I literally was not stressing or anything. Everybody was going crazy, and I was like, what are you stressing about?" I'm like, I'm sleeping good at night. Um, but I didn't. So like, you guys are a red state,
Yeah.
right? And I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And then seeing the whole like basically middle section that was red, I was like, wow, Texas, of course. But I think it's also because it's big, and so like the electoral votes, if that's correct,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was just like, damn, this is crazy. Like to see the all the states.
It is.
And
I mean, you see, well, mainly the cities voted blue, like the big cities. So
hmm.
like for us, it was like Charlotte, Raleigh, those big cities. They were all blue. So it's like if you zoom in, it's like the entire state's red, but when you zoom
Mm,
in, it's like you start to see like Fayetteville was on there too. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think we're definitely a big Republican state. I can see that. It's obvious.
hmm.
Somehow Roy Cooper won. So maybe just they just don't like him because he's a Democrat, and they just want him out. I can see that. I can see every.
Yeah.
I mean, but also too is like I think people. Uh, what do you think about this election fraud? Let
Let's
me.
jump in this.
Yeah, because I've been seeing it on Facebook, right? I don't really care what people think, right? Because
Hmm.
this is my fucking podcast, man. I do what I want, bro. You know, but like I've been seeing people talk about how they think it's fraud. That at first they wanted to stop the counts, the voter counts, whatever vote counts, and that then they were like they wanted to keep counting in certain states. What do you think about all
I
this?
feel like it just depends like on the party because at first, from like I said, I didn't keep up with it. So from what I got, either from like clips, like 30-second clips or 1-minute clips, and just social media and the internet, um, the Rep- the Republican Party wanted to be like, oh, stop the counts, which I think that's not fair. But then once they saw they lost, they wanted to continue the counts. So it's definitely like a one-sided thing. Um, I don't have
Mm-hmm.
enough information to know like how that whole system was going to be ran, but
They
they were the ones that called it to like do voting by mail and whatnot. And so, I mean,
Yeah, so well my this is my 2 cents, right? Obviously there's no evidence that there's fraud.
hmm
If there was evidence, even the slightest, it would already be out there. You know,
yeah,
people would be jumping on it, especially the Republican Party. But nobody's jumping on it. There's nobody saying anything, right? On top of that, the Republicans won the Senate, so they have a Senate majority, but all that's on the same ballot. So you can't, if it was fraud, then how come they won the Senate? You know what I mean? Like,
hmm
it's all on the same ballot. Every,
right,
that makes no sense. You can't win the other and not like the other one, you know?
hmm
I personally don't think it's fraud. I think that a lot of people are not even Democrat. I think people are just anti-Trump. I think that's what happened, and I think he he just pissed off a lot of people, and the people had it. I think that's what happened.
You think so? Because
Yeah,
I
he pissed off a lot of people, dude.
because I feel like he had a lot of supporters. Like even though
He did.
there's a
He
lot
gained
of people,
4 million more votes than 2016. So he did.
but then there's still more people that he pissed off, which is even crazier.
Yeah, and the president he fucked up by saying to vote in person. He should have just let them vote in by mail, and maybe
Hmm
more people did vote by mail because they're at their house. Like,
hmm
you know, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I personally don't think Joe Biden's like that great either. I don't think they're I don't think we have the best people for the job right now, man.
Yeah,
But they gave Trump a shot, so they're gonna give another guy a shot. I think that's fair, right? I
yeah,
don't know. Who knows, man? I mean, it's
it's hard.
tough, especially being a minority. I feel like, I grew up with racism, man. Fucking sucks. Yeah, I'm sure you did too. Dude, it fucking sucks, man. So like
Yeah.
people don't realize that. That's why a lot of people don't realize it, especially people that are born here, you know? Especially white people for sure. Like they don't get to understand what somebody else has to go through. When people
And
talk shit on you, man. I mean, dude, it sucks, and it
yeah,
lasts for years.
I think it's racism and discrimination. A lot of discrimination for sure. Like we could go on and on and on. And sometimes it's like subtle discrimination, or sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes it's like oblivious. You're not even doing it on purpose and it just happens. And it just sucks, you
It
know?
it does. Like so, after the election, me and my brother went to go eat right here downtown,
Hmm
and I'm telling you, like we were the only Hispanics in there, and everybody gave us some weird, nasty looks, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about it, right? Like
Right. I was
I'm
gonna
in.
say,
This
I
is
feel
my
like,
town. Like
right.
I'm always walking in the restaurants, whatever. But after the election, people were mad, and they were taking it out on me. I feel like just with their
Uh-huh.
eyes and the way that they were acting, And I was just like, bro, I didn't even fucking vote. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even vote, man. Get on my dick, man.
I had no say in this. It wasn't even
Yeah,
me.
man. I'm just like, dude, I don't know, man. It just sucks, right? I think we're I think the US has a lot of work to do, and we're not gonna complete it in the next 4 years. We might improve, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's just my 2 cents, right? I don't want to dwell too much on it, but
Mm-hmm.
I really need to get it off my chest because, like, I just been seeing it too much on Facebook. You know, on both sides. I don't delete people unless they're like wilding, completely wilding, saying some ridiculous stuff. Like, I don't delete people like that. Like, I know
Mm-hmm.
people always say that if you don't like me, unfriend me. I kind of like, yeah, maybe you should unfriend people, certain people, but I don't think you should unfriend everybody because they're a different party. Like,
Right.
I have friends that are both parties, right? I don't think that you should unfriend them or anything like that because you're not making it easier. You're only dividing yourself even more. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're making life without them, and some people might like that better. And you know what I mean. But I feel like if we're in America, everybody needs to come together at some point. There, regardless of political beliefs. That's what I think.
Yeah.
God dang it, boy! I need to be president. That's the next stop.
That's the next goal. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting next couple of years. I don't think any of the work, like the work just started. So we
well,
have to continue.
well, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? I mean, they're really fighting it. Unless they have evidence, I think Joe's gonna sleep. I think Papa Joe's gonna be in office, man. You know, I
I
don't think
think he
he's gonna.
is.
I don't, who knows?
I think it's gonna be interesting. I was just gonna mention like at some point we should do a video of what you foresee yourself or how you foresee yourself in 5 and 10 years. And like just like a memory video to look back to like
Gay? No, I'm just kidding.
talk to yourself in the
Yeah,
future
yeah,
and
like a
see
time
what
capsule. Cause
yeah.
yeah, cause I talked about it with one of our younger guests that we had on here on the show. Uh, we talked about doing like a time capsule type of thing, and in there you could, you know, you could submit videos or just even the podcast in general, like, you know what I mean, just have it like, just do a video and just
Save
don't,
it, yeah.
yeah, save it for later.
Mm-hmm.
um I mean, I just hope that they fix DACA. I think a lot of people don't know that, and because I'm under DACA and a lot of other people are, I feel like it's my right to talk about it and to like
Mm-hmm.
actually like raise awareness for it for people that have no idea what that is. And it's surprising people still don't know what DACA is.
Yeah.
And so I just hope that they, because I think, you know, this is the last thing I'll say about the election or just politics, but I think President Trump fucked up on trying to screw over the DACA kids. He wanted to take it, abolish it, like completely, and then he wanted to. Then he ended up removing 1 year out of the 2 year
Renewal.
renewal. I mean, dude, that, you know, that they pissed hit those kids off. Uh, Even though they can't vote,
Well,
their
this
families and all the people that they're around, I mean, it affected all of them. Like, first, I mean, you know what I mean? DACA
yeah.
kids, they literally are not criminals. They have to have a clean background. They gotta get fingerprints. I mean, they're in the system. They're If they fuck up, then they're gone. They're, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they take them out of here. That he fucked up there.
Yeah. And one thing I want to add, so you're saying like, you know, he, you know, like touched a lot of homes and that's true. And there's a lot of new voters that are siblings to DACA recipients. Like I don't know how many videos or how many interviews I saw that, you know, it was a Latina saying like, I voted for my mom and I thought about my sister and I thought about my brother and this and that because they're DACA recipients. And so I was like, yeah, that's powerful. And to see that is so like empowering and it feels so good to see like Latinos voting because there are people that never voted, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like your sister and cousin, like Angie is of age to vote. And just a bunch of, family members. And so
And they
there,
did. A bunch of people voted. So,
hmm
you
yeah,
know, that probably backfired on him. He should have just left those kids alone, man.
I know.
They didn't do anything. But
Exactly.
I don't know. See, it kind of sucks. It sucks the situation that we're in. But I think it'll get better. I just feel like people need to, um, I don't know, just people need to just talk to each other. I don't think we need to start hating on each other for so much, man.
hmm
You know, especially when you see somebody from a different party, you definitely, like, somebody's definitely gonna want to hate, right? But I think you should
Right.
just, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's got to be a balance there. You can't just
It,
completely be divided. That's what
it's a
they want us to be.
compromise. hmm
They want us to be divided.
I feel like it's a compromise. And like this year, I don't know how I've came to like this conclusion, but everything is a compromise. Like any relationship, brother or sister, you know, mother, daughter, anything like Republican Party, Republican Democratic parties, like it's a relationship, it's a connection. And so you have to compromise. You have to be like, all right, I disagree with you, but like let's move along, let's
Yeah.
work on something, let's find a common ground. And I this is one of those like I really feel that this next 3 to 4 years something good is going to happen for DACA. Like maybe it's just me being very hopeful or whatnot, but I feel like in 3 years, like I don't know, mark my words, we'll see
No,
in
I
three
hope
years.
so. I really hope so. It might even be sooner than that.
hmm
But it really just depends on like how well everybody handles it. Um,
But I think that people have more power than what we know, and I think they're realizing like we're at the generation where I don't know if you look back at history, like women's rights, like
hmm
everything, like nobody is scared at this point. Like the LGBTQ community, like people of color, both anybody, anyone of color, like African Americans, blacks, um, other races, other like nationalities, everybody is so vocal and is like, they
hmm
are
That's
they're
true.
ready. They are ready and they will not stand down and they will not like back out until they are heard, until they have what they want and what the people deserve. And I think it's time. Like I did not know like before, like
She
10
said it's
years,
time.
it is time. Like if you think about it, 10 years ago, you didn't think about these things. You were like, oh, I just have to, keep shut and move on and it is what it is. And I'm too weak or I don't have no power to like demand or, ask for these things. But now it's like, fuck that. Like I have a right. I'm a human and I deserve this and I am
hmm
here for it.
It's crazy how we have to fight for human rights though in
That is
2020.
crazy.
Jesus, that's like that makes no sense.
I know.
Honestly, like what? But that's where we're at, guys. We're in a battle every day. We're in our own everyday life, like day to day struggles. We're also living in the U.S. with their own struggles.
Yep.
We're also in a pandemic.
This is levels on levels.
Levels on levels, man. You got to be prepared or you'll fall behind. You know. I think we'll be okay. I think as long as we stay optimistic, like I said at the beginning, if we stay optimistic, we could be living up to 85 years or older. Don't you want to live that long? Are you ready to
Yes.
go? Are you ready to go by 50?
No. Let's go. Let's go 85, 86.
If I'm okay, I'm gonna put this out there before we go ahead and cut it. If I would like to live as long as possible, right? 85. I'd like to live up there, right? Because my grandparents did, and I feel like I should too. You know, as long as I do what I need to do and not, and keep my health good. But if something were to happen to me and I'm like a straight vegetable, fuck that. Pull the plug.
Pull the plug.
Let's go. I'm
I'll,
just, bro.
I'll
Yeah, like, bro, I'm not gonna be sitting there like a potato every day, somebody feeding me. Like, no. I'm not gonna do that. If I can live to that age, to 85,
but
be
healthy.
able to, and be like my grandpa, where they can still have complete sentences, they can still walk around a little bit, but They can still make their food. I mean, they're still like living. I would want that.
You
But
know,
if my brain just goes and I'm a potato, no.
I feel like that's one thing that I've noticed. Well, not recently, but like
Then
I'm
I'm a
very
potato?
no.
Oh.
I'm like scared of reaching that level, like of like I never thought about it, but sometimes I see people struggle, like older people like just straight up struggle. And I'm like, damn, I don't want to be, like I don't know.
Mm.
I don't want to be that severe. Like if I don't remember anything, I mean, it's no big, like obviously that sounds very dumb to be like, oh, if I don't remember, just like take me away. No, but
Ya
like it's
necesito
just
llave.
hard. But I feel like our family, our grandparents, like they'd had a whole different life and they're actually blessed that they can live this long. I wish I could live up to 85, 88, I don't know, 90, 100, whatever, 100 and plus. But I
Damn.
really think that our life expectancy and expand and like just our life
It's
every
decreasing.
day is not, yeah, like we have so many more stresses. It's
Social
just
media in
hard.
general. Like I really wanna keep going because honestly, social media in general is like a whole thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's true. Like you can get like some type of depression from social media, and you can
it's
get
so crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. And younger nowadays it's younger and younger kids. So it's like
And
it's just
how do you keep them away from that? Because that's like what it's like that's what everybody does. You know what I mean?
well, you're supposed to have like a what's it called?
Like a like a program or a
Not a yeah, well, just like I guess yeah, like a restriction like for the kids. I mean, I didn't get my first phone until I was 15. So think about
oh
it.
my God, I begged my mom for a phone.
When'd you get it?
Probably like 15.
Okay, so 15, and that was a flip phone, right? I had the Motorola Razr. It was like that space gray. I mean, dude, it was nice. You could
Did you see that they're
share the
like
music.
coming
Yeah, they
back
are.
with
They
some of
are.
those? I was like, oh hell no. This some bullshit.
Well, regardless of the newest ones, I think I had like a signal, or I had like a what's it called, a MySpace account,
Oh yeah,
and I
yeah.
remember I was getting into it with that phone and like trying to get into it. That was like the early stages of social media, right? And I remember how I felt when I got like the account, and when I
Mm-hmm.
would get like comments or like photo comments. Like I remember like that dopamine rush that I would get. Like I'd be like, "Oh hell yeah!" Like I got
Right.
stuff, you know.
It's
And
addicting.
it's addicting, and it would suck when you wouldn't get nothing. You check, it's like you got no your shit's dry, you know. You're like, damn.
And we're still in that same cycle right
We're
now,
still in
even
the same
with
cycle.
new platforms.
So it's been 11
Still.
years now. 11 years for me personally. I'm like a walking test subject right now. Like there's no telling what's happening right now, right? We're all test subjects. You know, you ever see that
Yep.
movie Social Dilemma?
I have
Oh,
not.
it's a movie on Netflix. You need to watch it. I mean, we're pretty much tracked. Like we're always tracked. And these big companies want you to stay on the phone for as long as possible.
Oh yeah.
So, they do whatever it takes to do that
To get
and
you.
to get you. So imagine all these kids though, like when you're sips wine. Imagine all these kids that are like, 5, 6, or anything, just
They have
anything
no
under
control.
10.
Like they just go for it. Like nosotros todavía pendejos because we have a mind, we can think better, but we still like
We're still
we're
dumb.
we're still
Don't.
dumb.
Yeah.
We're still like, oh, this, let me
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
spend an hour and a half.
This is something that's been talked about for so long on this podcast. And I'll probably keep talking about it until something changes, man, because I feel like I'm I'm worried about myself, you
Hmm.
know? Being at this age, having already lived a good chunk of my life with social media, technology, all that. It's gonna be hard, and it's gonna be harder now to let go of all that. It's only gonna be easier to use. But I'm more scared of like the kids, like the ones that grow up into it as babies, like 2, 3
Mm-hmm.
years old, already using the phone. I'm more worried for them because those are like very, very sensitive stages of life when they're that young. And a lot of things that happen in that time can more than likely will affect them when they get older.
Mm-hmm.
This is a
And
whole
it's
nother episode.
and it's so hard. Yes, like
Oh.
now that we got in that topic, it's like, like I'm not obviously I would love to be a mom at some point and to I'm not thinking about that right now because it's not very close to me or it's not happening or whatnot.
Hmm.
But now I'm like, how even just thinking about me wanting to say like, okay, I'm not going to expose them that much. How are you really going to be like, okay, you don't get a laptop or not even a laptop, you don't get an iPad or you don't even get to see my phone until you're 10, 15.
They're not
How am
gonna
I
make
gonna
it.
Yeah, because they're gonna see their neighbor right there having an iPad
They
and
got little Billy on the iPhone. They got little Billy on the iPhone 12 Plus.
little Billy's walking around taking videos and doing YouTube.
He's doing TikTok videos.
Exactly. And it's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I've seen like YouTube videos and I've seen like their families and like little kids and like they're vlogging and like my first perception is like at first it's like, oh cool, like your little girl can vlog and then I'm like later when she has like something going on or like I'm just thinking of traumas. Like I know maybe I'm exaggerating, but
Mm,
later when she has like anxiety or like has social anxiety or is like addicted to vlogging and like doesn't know how to back away from it or has some sort of withdrawal, like
dude, it's tough.
you brought that to her. You showed her that from 5 years of age. So when she turns 10 and 15, it's like the earlier you start them, the by the 10, 15, they're gonna be like a whole something else. And how do you
Uh,
control? How do you like control that? Not even I don't
that's
want to use
yeah,
control, but like monitor that.
yeah. I saw a video yesterday. It was about fam parents, parents and
Mm-hmm.
their kids. How it's a weird age right now because um, both the kids they are growing up in the technology era, whereas the parents they didn't, and so
I was just gonna say that.
it's getting to the point where like the kids have to actually teach the parents how to use those things, making them feel some type of superior, like make them feel superior
Superiority.
in some category. I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. It's like, it was a whole video, and it was very well, uh, like it was really well like
Explained.
explained with
Yeah.
details. I don't remember everything, but it kind of got me thinking. It's like we'll probably be like that. We're probably if we have kids, like I feel like it's gonna be hard for us to teach them because they're gonna be growing up in like a different era than we did. Like we have social media where like we were one of the first people to have social media, right? But when I don't know how it's gonna be in the future. Like it
Yeah,
might be totally different.
like I think about it, this is what we had, and we had something that our parents didn't have. So then I'm thinking our kids are going to have something that we didn't have, but what is that going to be? Because
Yeah.
it's like we already have social media. Like, are you be connected to a robot? Are you going to have like your imagination out here in a bubble? Like what that's going to look like? And I agree. Like that happened to us. I feel like even we had to show our parents how to use a phone or how to use a computer or whatnot. And one thing I was going to add on was like my mom, there's a lot of times where she's like, ya dejas el teléfono, like, ¿cómo te la pasas en el teléfono, this and that. And it's hard for her and it's hard for me.
She's like Yahweh.
She's literally like that. And it's hard for her to be
Ella,
like,
Yahweh.
llevas 2 horas ahí, no te has movido, no has limpiado la casa. Like, it's so hard for her to understand me, to see where I'm coming from, and to help
Yeah.
me really disconnect because she's never had that. For her, it's easy. It's like, just drop it. Like, why are you so attached to it? And it's like, you don't understand. Like, this is an addiction. Like,
Yeah, it
it can
is. It
be an
is.
addiction.
Hmm.
And then, not that I want to blame anything on being an only child, but being an only child, that was like my outsource. Like, that's how
Your
I
escape.
connected with. yeah, with my friends, especially younger, especially at that peak age where you don't drive, you don't have a car, and everything's accessible, and it's still accessible. It's like, and my mom is still working, and I'm just home alone, and it's like, well, if I want to have interaction, I just get on my phone and connect with people online. So how is it that you're gonna come home and be like, all right, stop? And it's like, hold up, like you've been gone for 30 hours, like you can't just come in and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
suelta el teléfono. But also she just wasn't able to like really have a good way to say like, all right, let's disconnect, or because it was just not part of her life. So she doesn't know how to develop a system that's like, let's incorporate it, but also learn how to
Yeah,
disconnect.
it
And
is.
there, like, all of these things I'm thinking about, and I'm like, I really want to prepare myself for the future, because I've already experienced moments where like I just don't know how to do things. And it happened to her parents too, where they're like, yo no sé cómo hacer eso. And you were like, oh, you're so dumb. Like, what the fuck? This is easy. So, and especially when you're at that young age, you're like annoyed that you have to teach them and that they don't get it.
Yeah,
But dude, we're moving that direction. Like
yeah,
right now, we're still young and todavía agarramos la onda. There's things where I'm like, damn, like I'm actually like exhausted and I don't really want to learn all this new technology
mm-mm.
because, but you have to, because if you stay behind, then adios, bye bye.
Yeah. Right now, I like it. I like learning technology. That's always been my field. That's probably why I can do like a lot of different things because
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of like have fun with it. But going back to the social media, I believe if there's not something like this already, that there is gonna be social media rehab. Like I think that there's gonna be some type of rehab centers where people are gonna be admitted into it because they've had too much of social media,
I want to
and
say there already exists. They
there
already exist.
probably is. Yeah,
That is crazy. It's been funny because at sometimes I'm like, damn, I think I'm like need to
I
go to
think I'm
rehab.
ready.
I better register right now.
And
Dude, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to scare people, but these people already know. People talk about this stuff within their own groups, their own circles. Like this isn't something like
You
brand
just
new.
made up,
Like
yeah.
yeah, no, this has been going on for a while. There's been a big increase in anxiety because of stress.
Well, and it goes back to that comment that I said, like my coworker didn't know that mental health awareness, like not mental health awareness, mental health days.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's like, yeah, that's because everybody's like anxiety up the ass. Like
sure.
I tell my mom, like sometimes she's like, I don't get this or whatever. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like I'm overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. Like I have anxiety. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're having fun. And like for her, and I think, it is, they had anxiety too, except it was portrayed or interpreted different. Like I know a lot of Latina moms are worry freaks. It's like, oh my God, y no hagas esto, y llega temprano, y ay Dios mío, y que esto, que el otro. If you think about it, if you analyze that for a second, like the moms that can't sleep until their sons get home, that's anxiety. That's
Yeah.
an anxiety version, but we have mental anxiety. They have more, I mean, that's also mental, but they have more of like a worry, like
I'm sure they
overthink.
probably well they probably go through the same things we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they don't ever identify it, so
Yes.
it's never brought to light. But I think that we all have our own mental health, and I think since we're younger, more people talk about it. We're aware of it, but when we tell them, they're like, "Nah, you're good. You're good."
Right.
No,
Because
mejor,
it
it's
because
like,
it
pues
has
ponte a trabajar, or like go do something para que se te quite.
exactly
Oh,
that's the
you're stressing me out, Kenya. Just thinking about it, my head hurts.
no, but we need to be we need to we But it's true, you know, it actually is true. Like I've learned that if I stay busy and like I
I'm
just need
gonna
to,
write it down.
I just if I get off my phone and do like actual physical manual things, my life is better.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. And sometimes, obviously, sometimes I still fall back into like, you know, old habits. A ver, let's see it. Stay busy. Yes.
Can you see that?
Frame it.
Mine's like the opposite. Like it's
Yeah, I can
backward.
see it.
That's back. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna keep this here. Oh shit!
Frame
I
it.
accidentally marked it out, but whatever. You know, with that all that being said, Kenya, we need to just put like, you know, poner las pilas. Gotta try
Ponernos
our
pilas.
hardest every day. And the people listening, you should also try something. Try. I know I say that a lot, but I think you should. I think you should try like a skill, do something that makes you feel good. Because life is short. Life doesn't. Life feels long. We might live 80, but we might not. So we might as well just try to live as well as we can. And I don't know. I'll come up with more ideas later on. Some more things.
Go
What do
build a
you?
house.
Yeah. A lot of things. A lot of things. Honestly, goals, big goals, little goals, big goals. You know how like Nacho Libre is like big keys, little keys. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Do you have anything else to say, Kenya? Because I feel like this got pretty long.
I would just say live your best life. Have a positive mindset
Mm,
and
mm.
do your best
Write
to
that down. Write that down. You know, like that SpongeBob meme. He's like, write that down. Write that down.
and
Yeah.
do your best to like find happiness or joy in every day, whatever it is. Find happiness and joy. I should take my own advice. What the
I know.
fuck?
Me too. Well, you're telling that, so I'll take yours and you can take mine.
Okay.
Because honestly, what better advice? It's hard to take your own advice. It really is. And but with experiences, when people see you going through stuff and they see you doing good, and they start to really wonder, it's like, maybe I should follow what they're doing. It looks like it's working out. You know? I
It's
don't know.
true.
I went. I had a struggle. I feel like I'm doing better, but it's because I had to put the work in, effort. So
Yeah.
I hope you guys actually learned something today, guys. And if you didn't, well, you know, we'll catch you on the next episode, man. No pasa nada. All right, guys.
Tune back in next week.
Well, we'll catch you on the next episode, guys. Okay, and follow. Oh yeah, follow us on the Instagram page, the Brocast underscore. Um, I have no big updates this week, man. No big updates, you know. So we'll catch you on the next one. Okay. Bye, guys. Love you.